sparring Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga, he hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this.
How to keep the speed, Gervonta Tank Davis, if he put on the right weight, put the right weight on, and, you know, have the lean muscle right, he can look fantastic somewhere in the mid-150s, dare I say, close to 160 against Jake Paul.
In shocking leaked footage, Gervonta Tank Davis is seen dropping a heavyweight sparring partner while training for his fight with Jake Paul. The clip captures Tank's trademark power and deadly timing, one clean left hand, and the session's over. Fans are losing it online, calling it proof that Davis's speed and accuracy are still untouchable, even against guys way bigger than him. Showbiz The Adult predicts that Gervonta Tank Davis will come in around 154 pounds for his fight with Jake Paul, shutting down claims that he's too small to compete. He explains that Tank has walked around that weight before and even trained at 160 pounds, so it's nothing new. Showbiz says Tank's years of sparring with bigger fighters have sharpened his timing, reflexes, and counterpunching, giving him the tools to neutralize Jake's size. Confident in his take, he boldly declares that Jake Paul's size won't save him once Tank lands clean. Gervonta Davis will knock him out with ease.
150s, dare I say, close to 160 against Jake Paul. And dare I say it, I think that's the right thing for him to do. Why? I've been saying this. Number one, fighters need to start fighting closer to their walk-around weight. They're just healthier that way. They're just better and healthier that way. I mean, I know it's probably surprising them too. Like, that was the best I've seen Terrence Bud Crawford. Lamont Roach, he's fighting Pitbull at 140, coming from 130 and a pit stop at 135. You have Shakur Stevenson talking about fighting Teofimo Lopez. They're very close to making that fight at 140. And I think all of them would look their best there, especially Roach, where he ain't knocking nobody out down there at 130. But I bet you he'll be swatting far more at 140. Gervonta Tank Davis, I think, just like the others, fighting closer to your walk-around weight is just going to be one of the better performances for Gervonta Tank Davis. He's going to learn a lot about his body. He's going to learn a lot about himself and where he should campaign moving forward. Maybe even meeting Roach in that rematch at 140 himself. Also, another reason why I think it behooves him to come in knocking at 160 pounds is because of Jake Paul. It's not like Tank is going to dodge every punch Jake Paul throws, all right? Some of those going to land, and more than likely it's going to land on his guard. Tank is going to have his guard up. We need for him to be solid enough, his foundation and his base solid enough, so when Jake Paul hits him with those shots, he doesn't go flying around the ring.
Gervonta Tank Davis has reportedly been sparring with much bigger fighters to get ready for his showdown with Jake Paul. But that's nothing new. Since early in his career, Tank has always pushed himself against heavier opponents to sharpen his timing and accuracy. With his explosive power and elite fight IQ, taking on bigger guys has never been an issue for him. It's what's made him the dangerous fighter he is today. In the latest training footage, Gervonta Tank Davis looks sharper, leaner, and more locked in than ever. Every punch he throws explodes with power and precision, the kind that comes from years of pure discipline. His footwork is light but commanding, and his rhythm is calculated down to every strike on the heavy bag. You can see the focus in his eyes and the perfect blend of speed and strength in every move. Experts are saying Tank hasn't looked this good in years, calling him ready for war. The mix of power, timing, and ring control he's showing in camp has reignited talk that Tank Davis is still one of the most dangerous fighters in the game. One of the the biggest debates before this fight is the weight difference. Some say Jake Paul's natural size gives him the upper hand, while others believe Gervonta "Tank" Davis's skill will completely erase that advantage. Fans are curious if the size gap will be too much for Tank, but those who truly follow his career know he's been testing himself against bigger men for years. Supporters remind everyone, boxing isn't about size, it's about timing, discipline, and intelligence. With his slick defense and deadly counterpunching, Tank turns opponents' strengths into weaknesses. His team is confident that his experience under pressure will help him use Jake's size against him. For Davis, this fight isn't about showing strength. It's about proving that skill rules over size.
It is happening. WBA lightweight champion Gervonta Davis, who's unbeaten in 31 professional contests, takes on the self-proclaimed problem child Jake Paul, one of the most influential and marketable global personalities. Paul and Davis square off in Miami after doubts around the fight being sanctioned in Georgia triggered a change in venue. Neither fighter can weigh more than 195 pounds. The weight is perhaps the most surprising factor. Paul has boxed most of his career around 200 pounds, the cruiserweight limit, but did tip the scales at 227 pounds when he faced off against Iron Mike Tyson last year. Davis, much smaller in stature, competes at the 135 pound mark and has also won world honours at super featherweight. And despite some discussions about possibly dropping down to 10 ounces, the pair seem set to wear 12-ounce gloves. And in terms of distance, despite the exhibition tag, the fight will play out over 10 3-minute rounds with 3 scoring judges at ringside, but the result will not be officially recorded on their professional records.
Lamont Roach hasn't been shy about his issues with Gervonta "Tank" Davis, claiming there's unfinished business between them. His recent comments have sparked debate, with many noticing a tone of bitterness. Analysts suggest Roach's frustration isn't just about rivalry. It's fueled by envy of Tank's success and massive paydays. The two once shared mutual respect, but now Roach's words sound more personal than professional. Observers believe he's struggling to accept how Davis keeps dominating headlines, while others fade into the background. As usual, Tank isn't taking the bait. He stays silent, focused, and lets his work in the gym do the talking.
Tough rip. The question is direct. Reportedly, Tank's gonna make $40 million around there to fight Jake Paul. Would you do the same thing if you were in the situation? And he's like, actually, this is what I explained before. You're beating around the bush. It's really a yes or no. I would do it. I would take the 40 mil, or I wouldn't take the 40 mil. But let's listen to this long, drawn out explanation.
There's about $40 million that he's going to get paid. If you were in his shoes, wouldn't you do the same thing?
See, now, this is something that I explain and express, and I hope everybody gets. That opportunity is an opportunity that you probably cannot pass up. But it's about how you handle it. It's about how you go about it. A lot of people don't know they actually exercise his rights to the rematch. So that contractually binds us to a fight. You cannot breach that unless you do what you have to do to handle the business, to be like, okay, well, we mutually agree to let you move on and or swindle around and fight Jake Paul for this money. If you think I'm going to sit back by the wayside and sit there and be like, well, even though I'm contracted to fight this guy for this amount of money on this certain day, I'm just going to sit here and be cool with, oh, he might not ever fight me, and he's going to go fight and get paid and get this money, and I'm not supposed to get anything.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis is sharper, stronger, and more focused than ever for his fight with Jake Paul, taking on bigger opponents in training and proving skill beat size. Critics talk, but Tank stays silent and lets his fists do the talking. Fire, like, comment, and subscribe for more boxing drama and inside stories. Boxing Glove.